Okay. Yes, I had 2 heaping bowls of a meal that I called meat paste. It's okay. It's a can of chili with beans, a can of refried beans, and a couple hot dogs just for extra meat meat chunks. But the chili and the beans mix up together, and it's not quite eating just refried beans. It thins it out a little bit. Yes. Yes, but it is meat and beans and meat and beans and it's nice and thick and hearty when you want meaty paste. What would you have? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh yeah, once in a while. Once in a while they're good. Yeah. See, the one I have isn't basket. It's kind of like a toaster oven. It's got 2 slots for the trays. One's a little bit higher, one's a little bit lower, but it's more like a toaster oven sheet, but it's got perforations in it so the air can flow. So you don't even if you're doing like nuggets or something, you don't have to like turn things over because they're not on a flat surface. They're getting pretty ample uh, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
airflow around them.
I feel you. I feel you.
I do have another one that is a basket style that I bought on Black Friday and then I just never opened because I accidentally fixed the current air fryer.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I should have returned it, but at the same time it'd be nice to have a second one in case I had to do 2 things at once. But also, if I ever do need to go sell it, it's brand new in box. Like it is original box taped up, so I can't just sell it.
How many years did we live off like Totino's party pizzas cooked in a toaster oven?
A couple.
Many, too many,
Yeah.
too many. You, I don't know if you have tried that out, and I'm sure they're horrible for us. But have you cooked a party pizza in your like toaster oven style one?
No.
I'm going to break into your house so I can try that. I gotta know. I gotta know. I love those party pizzas. I do. They're not good, but I love them.
Oh yeah.
I
The only thing that's really bad about them is the ham, the meat cubes on it. Because usually it was the combination ones.
yeah.
Um, both the sausage and the meat cubes, I just assume with ham, they're loaded with salt because
Yeah.
it's all pre-cooked heat shelf
Processed
stable, so it's full of salt.
processed meats, yeah.
Well, they're even higher in salt because they're frozen, so it's got to be extra preserved. That's the only thing that's really bad with them. But that's true of most things.
Yeah, it's real easy for processed foods like that to be just large blocks of salt with additional salt for flavor. Speaking of kitchen gadgets, I think I blew up my magic bullet blender thing. It don't
Oh, blender.
it don't yes, that kind of not yes, the blender. Yes, the blender. I may have been trying to paste up some chicken to make chicken salad in the style of ham salad. Anyway, I've ruined my blender by blending chicken. And I discovered this when I went to make an egg sandwich the other day. I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to make like an omelet sandwich. Ooh, I'm going to throw some eggs and mayo in the blender and, slap the cup on there. And then it went, the silence is deliberate. And I'm like, where's the whirring noise? Why are my eggs intact? What am I going to do? Also, hi, Ash. I think I filled out the warranty card, but I don't know for sure. But now, like a caveman, I have to beat eggs with a fork, my bare hands, or shake them really, really hard. I don't know. But, yeah. Also, my counter, I can't do anything on my counter because my counter is full. I've got the air fryer, I've got the pressure cooker, I've got the George Foreman grill, I've got the microwave. I don't have room for anything, and I don't understand where to do things in my kitchen anymore. I need a kitchen island, but in order to do that, I need to get rid of my kitchen table. How did we have room for everything when we had the even larger table? We didn't have room for everything.
No. There was the microwave cart.
Which gave us that much more counter space on that.
Which gave you microwave, but also gave you storage underneath it for some of those things that we didn't. Now, that wasn't very usable because if there was always a chair in the way that you moved back and forth. Right. The microwave cart negated the microwave, which also gave you storage on top of the microwave for a whole bunch of things.
True. I think I just need shelves. In general. In my life, I need more shelving.
Yeah. Shelving on that wall would do you a lot of good.
We need to go to IKEA one of these days. I need like 5 Billy bookcases and like as many Calyx shelves as we can fit in your car.
My car.
Yeah, well, you know what's up with my car.
At that point, it would probably be well, here's the thing. You have two choices with IKEA. You can either bring the stuff or you can have it shipped. At a certain tipping point, shipping is actually the better option. What you do is you go there, you walk around IKEA for, an hour, you look at all the stuff, you fill up your shopping cart with all the small things. If you can fit in a shopping cart, you can bring it home. Everything else, you order online and have it shipped.
What is my computer doing? What did my cat step on?
Here's what I found.
My watch is looking up IKEA.
My cat apparently stepped on the Excel button. Sorry.
The other alternative, and I know people that have actually done this, they rent a car to go to IKEA. They rent an absurdly large Ticonderoga Express XL, SUV, and take that down there to fill up to use as a moving van, basically.
I could dig that. I am absolutely down for a trip to IKEA. I see Aunt PJ in my chat over here. Like, if we go, she better get an invite. Do we want to make a family trip to IKEA?
Okay, so that's the thing. If you're taking two people, usually you can get away with the front seat because you can't really do much with the front passenger seat.
Yeah.
With 2 people, you have the entire contents of the rest of the vehicle. If you take 3 people, then you have to like how much of a vehicle, like then you have a triangle space to work with.
Yeah.
So in that case, going there, doing day shopping, and then paying for shipping to get the large things home is the better option.
That might not be a bad
And
idea.
and realistically, I think the shipping from the Columbus to up here is only like $50, maybe a little bit more.
That's not
Which,
too bad.
if you're getting depending on what you're getting, if you're getting 2 bookcases and they're $100, it seems absurd. If you're getting 3 sets of cabinets and 10 bookshelves and a couch and a thing, and your total's like got a comma in it, paying the $50, 50 or I think after a certain amount of volume it goes up, but $50 or $100. Well, yeah. So that's the thing, BJ, is at a certain point when the shipping goes up, like the shipping is a good price. Shipping is cheaper than renting a van. If you get enough stuff, the shipping goes up, in which case you rent a van and then you have to haul it yourself. You have to get it into the van and get it out of the van, whereas you pay money and they leave it on your doorstep. So it's like
kind of a weird balance there.
you're exchanging your time versus physical exertion. I've done this a lot.
I'll put in as much of the labor as I can. I think my problem is I've got like $4. That'll buy me like a lowercase a from a Calyx shelf. Like off the box, I just get one of the letters, stick it on my wall, collect the whole set, redeem it for cubes.
As for kitchen gadgets, um, I would say. But what was your original question on the thing?
I don't even remember. I
most
went. You're yeah.
Our most and least used kitchen gadgets. Well, I'd say my most used right now is my rice cooker, like an actual rice cooker machine. Um, it's nothing fancy. It's one of those like put stuff in it and there's one lever and it goes down, and then when it's done, it goes up. That's it.
My pressure cooker is basically a glorified rice cooker. I think I've used it for other stuff twice. But
I wanted one dedicated for rice because I know they know how to make it knows how to make rice. That is its only purpose.
Yes, if it doesn't do it well, it won't stay in existence for very long. Yeah.
Before that, I actually had a really nice. I mean, I still have it. I have a microwave rice cooker. That's like a bowl and a lid and a thing, but it's got like so it doesn't let all the heat escape, and you just minute rice, stick it in there, and it comes out. You put minute rice in it, and it comes out as good as like rice cooker rice.
Yeah.
But it's like Nordic ware. It was not cheap, wasn't too expensive, but it was that like it's like the Corningware of plastic. It's that plastic you just like cannot break.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Nordic stuff is very durable. Another fun one I have is I have I don't even know what it's called. I bought it for cutting blocks of spam into slips. It's a wire cutter.
Yeah, wire cutter, cheese cutter thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I've seen ones for eggs that have an egg shaped divot. This is just a square and the wires and it cuts it through, and they obviously can't advertise it as such, but it is spam block sized exactly perfectly, and it's for this, and it's for cutting blocks of spam into
for spamasubi. Yeah.
But I use that all the time too. That's another one.
As dumb as it sounds, I feel like my least used kitchen gadget is my stove. Every once in a while, I think and I remember to cook eggs on it. That's all I do. Or I boil water for making ramen.
I wonder what happens if I. Oh, okay. I wanted to see what it showed me as, if it knew to like highlight me separately as a guest.
I'm not sure. I mean, mine,
It,
I have us just side by side. And
well, no, like the broadcaster has the red camera icon and stuff. I didn't know if it
Ah.
showed another symbol for any hosts on the thing.
Yeah,
But
this thing is neat.
Stream Together is in beta.
We're going to have to get all our other Goonie friends to come join us on this.
Yeah. What's your least used? Well, your least used was the.
Was the stove, and the most used right now is the probably the air fryer. Although I feel like I'm going in circles here. I feel like I'd use the stove more if the blender worked.
I don't think I use the oven that often. I'll use the stovetop, but I've been doing a lot of stovetopy cooking things.
Yeah.
Like I was using the hell out of the rice maker, so I was cooking like heating up cans of beans and stuff like that, and to put into the rice. Or occasionally I'll make spaghetti, but again, that's all stove top.
Yeah.
Okay, the only time I really use the oven is to make pizza.
Fair. Fair.
It is not an oven, it is a pizza device.
Yeah.
Which, if I was rich and had counter space and I had a dedicated pizza machine, I wouldn't even turn on the oven.
Those look neat, but I don't feel like I would ever use it enough to make it worthwhile.
No. That those make sense if you have a family and you need to like quickly make, if the teenagers need to go just like throw in a pizza and then they're done. And or you have three different, or a bunch of college bros and they're cooking those often. They make sense. Or one of those big giant kitchens with all of the things.
Also, like, if I'm making pizza at home, I don't want good pizza. Does that make any sense at all? I want garbage. I want the party pizza. I don't want a good frozen pizza, and I'm not about to make one from scratch. I did that for too long at the pizza shop.
I eat the Costco frozen pizzas. We still had a bunch from last year. Well, no, I take that back. We probably bought them last. I think I went last September. End of summer, they had a bunch on sale. It's like four in a box, and we bought 5 boxes or something because they don't last forever. Nothing frozen truly does, but we have a full. They last. We have a full size chest freezer and a full size fridge in the garage, so we have the space for it. And it's like, get the pizzas. There's always a night, at least, I won't say once a week, but very easily. There's like, I don't want to cook. I just want, a pizza.
Yeah, BJ's a fan of DiGiorno. That's too fancy for me.
If I'm at the level I want DiGiorno's, I will order a pizza. But I am spoiled by having a Domino's literally at the end of my street that it would be criminal if I had it delivered. It's slightly too far to walk. I could if I really wanted to. But then I'd have to walk back carrying a pizza, and that's just awkward.
Yeah.
But like, I could easily drive there and back in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I won't admit to this. It's short enough that I don't even put on my seatbelt sometimes.
Hypothetically.
Like that's how close. No, I usually do because I'm a good boy that's always paranoid. And there's a Domino's and there's a Little Caesars. There's a Little Caesars literally 100 feet farther than the Domino's. If I go across the light,
a little bit further, and you can save yourself $7 a pizza.
and then within the city limits, there's a Pizza Hut, and slightly up the road the other way, there's a Papa John's. So I'm never not want for pizza.
You know,
And there's a Master Pizza too. They're really, really good. They're there's one of those pizza places that are like, this is more expensive than I want to pay for pizza. And then you get it and you're like, oh, this was made by a human. This was not franchise pizza. This is not frozen. This was made by a human.
There's some old hairy guy in the back tossing dough. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this was made by a person right there from scratch to make for me. You know.
I get it. I absolutely get it. Yeah. BJ says last time I ordered pizza, it was 2 hours late. Ash, like, that's why my dad goes and picks him up. A lot of those places are understaffed. I understand, like, the work shortage thing, all of that aside, okay? Because I understand you have to have the people. But, like, there used to be a penalty for that. If your pizza was late, you used to didn't have to pay for it. Also, dinosaurs walked the earth and all of that. But
And rocks were soft, yes.
I want to extend as much grace as I can. I really do. But I feel like there's an amount of time where there's a cutoff. If your pizza's 5 minutes late, okay. If your pizza's 30 minutes late, I've had it happen. If your pizza's an hour late, okay, now we're getting inconvenient, but there's a delivery range. Business will vary, all of that.
I think I think places should be more honest in their delivery times, because they should know by this point, based on how their current load and how many what drivers they have, they should be able to. The statistic has to exist.
Right.
It has to, of what they know. They can dial in, like, look, we only have one driver tonight, and it's pretty busy because it's football Thursday or something. We're going to bump that delay up. If you don't want to order, if you want to, like, come pick it up, cool. You can get it. It's like, you can pick up your pizza in 15 minutes. Delivery's going to be 45 to 60.
Yeah.
We have one guy and he's running orders all over. Fine. But I think starting at the estimated delivery time, I think I'd say up to a half hour after that is within the reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Especially if they have a way to communicate that. If you have, some of the pizza shops have like tracking and stuff, like, hey, the driver has left the pizza with your shop. He is now subject to traffic. He's absolved of all thing. But I think up an hour passed. So if they say it's going to be there in a half hour, once it hits an hour, like 90 minutes, that's the point where I think, like, they throw you a coupon or a discount or credit onto your account or something, where it's like, unless they can say, look, our oven broke, we're running late, do you want us to refund it, or do you want to come get it, we'll make you a new one. But as long as they communicate, they could be late. Shit happens.
Right.
You know,
there's but I'm still going to say there's like an upper bound on that of some sort. And I'm going to go to Grubhub as my example. Okay, it's not pizza. This is different. This is a whole different thing. And I will acknowledge that it's a delivery service problem, not a restaurant problem. But I have ordered breakfast at 7 from the McDonald's 2 miles from me. It's not far. I have walked that distance before. At 7 a.m., I order breakfast stuff. I see 3 different drivers marked as picking up my order, and then it switches to another person. Like, their little car icon shows in the drive-through.
Okay. So I can tell you why that happens.
Please.
So what happens is, those people are most likely running multiple orders. if they get multiple orders queued up and they're going to go pick up the three, if the Grubhub person is going to pick up 3 Grubhub orders, they go through the drive-through and they say, "Hey, I'm picking up 3 Grubhub orders. Here's the order codes," and they pick them up. But if they have somebody that they're picking up like Uber Eats and DoorDash at the same time, they pick up the one order from somewhere else. They swing through there because it's in fast food row, and they are waiting and they're waiting and waiting, and that line is forever. And there's a time running on their other order because they have picked it up from Burger King.
Fair.
And they have to get it over there. And then they will say, "I'm abandoning pickup, send it to the next person," because they get out of line because they have to go send their other order. The problem is the drivers are running multiple different apps at the same time, and they have to abandon it. And somebody else goes to wait in line also, and that McDonald's is just slammed.
By the time someone could pick up my order, they were no longer serving breakfast, so they canceled it and refunded it.
Did you open a complaint about that?
They gave my money back. I didn't see any need to open a further complaint.
No,
I probably should have.
In that case, especially if you ordered at 7, I would actually go open a support ticket with Grubhub about that and be like, "Look, you had a 4-hour window. Well,
it is
3-hour window.
It is now lunchtime, and I did not get any breakfast. Thank you for my money back. I'm still hungry." Then again, it serves me right for being lazy and ordering it delivered, because this is back when it was easier for me to get there myself, and I should have just dragged my sorry self out and sat my own self in line at McDonald's and paid half as much as I would have anyway. Because I am aware of gig economy. I tip generously to ensure that someone will take my order in the first place.
The problem I have with the food delivery is that the food is marked up for no reason. It doesn't cost them more to make. It doesn't cost them any more to have somebody else pick it up. And I know it's not always the restaurant marking it up. It's the service are injecting their own thing. But if they're injecting their own prices, if they're skimming 50 cents or $1 off of everything, then I don't pay a service fee. Yeah. But they jack up the prices, and I'm paying delivery, and I'm paying whatever base, DoorDash service fee on top of the delivery, on top of, if that's not the delivery fee, then why are you I want to be able to pay a person to go to the store and pay the same price that I would.
Right. 100%.
I don't want to pay $6.50 for a $5 hamburger.
That you have to pay a $3 delivery fee and a $2 service fee and a tip to get someone to take it.
Right. But if it was the original price, I would probably order a lot more.
Yeah.
But it's like, either give me a base fee for a thing, but don't mark up every individual price.
The justification that restaurants will give for doing that, and most of the time it is the restaurant themselves that actually mark up the items.
Not always.
Most of the time that I've seen.
Yeah.
Is that the increased demand from that requires additional service on their end. It doesn't cost them more to make the food, but they have to make more food, so they have to pay extra bodies to be there to make it. Like, it's deliberately to deter people like me who could go to McDonald's from ordering Grubhub McDonald's.
Because it puts needs more staffing at McDonald's.
Right, and they don't have a way to anticipate that. I mean, they should by now, but they did not.
But if assuming everybody negates that by just going to McDonald's, all those same amount of people still want McDonald's. They just go get in line, and then McDonald's is equally as slammed. But now you're paying the $5. Just everybody's in person.
Yeah,
everybody's in person paying the $5 sandwich, and nobody ordered the $6.50 sandwich online, delivery or pickup. But it's like that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, but it's their justification for it nonetheless. I'm not agreeing with it, just repeating it.
I also don't I tend not to use those even for pickup, because if I'm gonna paying for, like, there would be, if places had their own online portal, they had their own website, I can go to pizzahuts.com and order from Pizza and pick it up. I If I go through, for whatever dumb reason, if I were to go through Grubhub to order Pizza Hut, they're marking those prices up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of restaurants nearby that don't have their own online thing. The only way to order online, like, I want to order online because I don't want to call on a phone and read a thing out and have subject to my mouth to your ears through your brain to your hand, the order being wrong. But I have to go through Grubhub or DoorDash.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay their markup for something I'm going to pick up. You are not involved in this process. In that case, you don't raise the prices. I would even be willing to pay a small service processing fee because you did facilitate the money transaction and the order placing and whatever, but a flat order transaction fee.
Not a per item, right.
Right, because if I'm going to order, it's like Chinese food. You end up ordering like 12 different items. If you're ordering for people, it's not like I can get 3 pounds of lo mein. Everybody, I want my thing of lo mein. You want your rice. You want it. Like, and if everything's got that markup on it, it's like, this is dumb.
No, absolutely.
Our local,
damn convenient.
Our local Chinese food place does have a very rudimentary online ordering thing that is, it's geared towards mobile because they're not dumb. So it's harder to use on a website, but it's almost frustrating to use on mobile.
Is it like their own thing or one of those specialty apps?
No, it's web-based, but it's like I don't want to call it out, but it's like it's almost like if somebody did the bare minimum to make like a Shopify site for a restaurant, but they did it in like Dreamweaver. It's like, technically this is HTML and does have a cart and does submit it, but it is kind of painful to use sometimes because either it loads all correctly and it works, but if it doesn't all load correctly, things don't want to work, in which case I'll eat something else.
The big reason I ask that is I've discovered that there is a specialty app. By the way, none of this is sponsored content. We're brand blah blah blah.
The pizza place by me does that. They have order through our app, and you order. It's like, this is the most generic app that you stuck your assets on and recompiled, and it's like somebody, fed their menu.xml into it and it put logo.jpg at the top.
If you look for an app called Beyond Menu,
yep,
every red letter menu Chinese place in existence is on that thing. The
pizza place, that's what it is. Beyond, I recognize that.
Beyond Menu is terrible, but it shows you restaurants you wouldn't find anywhere else, and every hole in the wall goes through them, and I love it. It's one of those where, like, if you want not chain restaurant, if you want food from any ethnicity that is not local to the area, you're going to find the hole in the wall that makes the best whatever it is on Beyond Menu.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I originally really liked DoorDash like things for.
Yeah.
What was the
Postmates?
No, what was it called? I used it all the time in California. Eat24.
Yeah.
Yelp/Yahoo ended up buying them up, and then they kept it. It was like Eat24, a Yelp company, or Yelp brings you, like one of those things.
Yeah.
And then they eventually like absorbed it in to like be the same product, and then it turned to shit because it was now more about the reviews.
It was a review app you could order through as opposed to a food ordering app at that point.
Yes, Yelp was about reviews. Eat24 had minimalistic reviews that you could like, hey, this place is pretty good. It may, your food's gonna take a little bit longer, but it's pretty good. Or don't come on Tuesdays because they're always slammed because it's, nickel taco day, or get her early on Wednesday if you're getting breakfast. One of those minimal reviews, and then they merged it and it turned to shit. And then Eat24 brandings went away, and it turned into a review site you could earn food. I'm talking like 10, 11, 12 years ago. Oh God, even longer than that, because I used it when I was at Wikia too.
Yeah.
Like, it was the thing we ate food in California with, because you could like food near me. I don't care what kind, like what is near me that I can order and somebody will bring it over on a bicycle and not have to fight, San Francisco traffic, which literally they did a lot of times.
Yeah.
I knew the 4 places around me that were within bicycle distance, and delivery was always like, expect it in 45 minutes to an hour, or expect it in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it said the longer one, don't order. You will not get it for 2 hours, because traffic was always atrocious in the city.
That's the other thing is, with the food delivery sites, just to go completely aside here, but we were talking about review site, Yelp, bought Eat24 and all of that. If I order from a place more than once a month, I want to say if I order from a place twice, like just in general, ever twice, stop asking me if I want to review it, especially if I've left a review.
I take that back. Eat24 is now Grubhub. But I think Grubhub also bought it. They bought it from Yelp at some point.
It's one of those, they got bought and then they got spun back out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how many times do they want me to say this certainly was non-toxic about McDonald's? Those nuggets sure may have been chicken. 3 stars, eat here if you are going to eat McDonald's. What can I say about it? There's an upper bound to what I can actually put in a useful review.
Yeah.
If something changes, I want to be able to go back in and add a review. There's a big button encouraging me to do that. I'm good with that. Don't ask me after my food. Don't message me an hour afterwards and be like, how was your Taco Bell? It was shitty. I'm going to get it again. It'll be shitty next time. It's Taco Bell. I had $4 and wanted to eat.
It also, with fast food places, don't ask for me reviews.
Yeah.
Like,
big enough change, you know what you're going to get. You know what you're in for. You signed up for this in the first place.
Okay. Just for point of order, because I wanted to know the timeline of when this happened. In August 2017, Grubhub agreed to acquire Eat24 from Yelp for $287 million. It finally passed in October, and they announced, and then 2018 they shut down the Eat24 brand. So Yelp did buy them because of the review thing, and then they sold it to Grubhub at the height of all that.
The Canadian.
And apparently Grubhub owns Bite Grabber, Eat24, Level Up, Seamless,
Skip the Dishes,
and Order Up, and Skip the Dishes.
Skip the Dishes.
No, they took over their operations when they did not buy them, but they just took them over.
Yeah.
There's a legal difference. They did not buy them to save them. Like, they went out of business and they just, all the Kmarts are now, Roses.
Yeah. Skip the Dishes, I know, because they're big in Canada. And you know me and my soft heart when I get a message from one of my friends north of the border.
Do you Amazon them Kool-Aid and components?
Absolutely. I'm going to tell that story. I moved to Kansas for a while in a just bit of unbridled intelligence. And I was complaining one day that I didn't have any Kool-Aid and I didn't have the requisite things needed to make Kool-Aid. And I told Fuzzy to email me some Kool-Aid. So he said challenge accepted. And before it was widely prevalent, he discovered that he could send me all of the things that go into Kool-Aid. Bottled water and Kool-Aid mix and sugar, all on Amazon. Let me share this. Here, I got a button that'll let me do that. Let me show you this right here. Yes. Go ahead and push the screen share of this receipt with the water and the sugar and the Kool-Aid mix. He emailed me Kool-Aid. God bless you for it, man. That was fantastic. That was good stuff right there. Also, hey, now I know how screen share works on this thing. That's cool.
Yes.
That's going to be really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Formative video games.
Formative video games, yes. Not necessarily what were your favorites, but what are the ones that made the biggest difference, the biggest impact on you as a person? Sorry, I hear rustling back there. Maddie, I'm going to indulge you on this. Maddie got fixed on Monday. My kitten that we thought was a she, but turns out to be a he, which over there somewhere I heard weird rustling. He's all fixed. He's still healing. He got his surgery on Monday. And he's in a cone. Only for dogs, a cone can be pretty big. You know, dogs, blah, blah, blah. Cats are basically liquid. So a cone has to be a lot more constrictive to be effective on a cat. And Maddie has not gotten used to his cone, so he bumps into everything and scratches it against everything. And he spends a lot of time bent over trying to lick himself, but he's just licking the cone because the cone's in the way. And he can't seem to wrap his tiny little head around the fact that this isn't actually me. So he's there, bent in half with his head between his legs, merrily licking his cone. But he's doing so against a cardboard box back there, so I just hear like this rustling, scraping sound every time the cone shifts against the box a little. Also, he did that to me, plus that, and you guys saw that one. It's not as bad on the left hand, but it's there. Because he can't eat with the cone on because of the size of the cone and the length and everything.
Yeah.
So we take his cone off to let him eat when I feed him wet food. And I'll like pull some dry food out for him. But like when it's time for wet food, I take his cone off and I go sit and I watch him eat. And then we put his cone back on. And it is a two-person job, and this still happens.
Sprinkle some gabapentin.
When Ashley took him in to get fixed, they asked if she wanted his nails trimmed while he was already out. And she said no, because her justification made perfect sense. If we are trying to take care of him while he heals, she wants him to be able to defend himself in case Sarge or the dog decide to pick a fight.
Well, I mean, he'll still have nails. They just trim them, trim them down a little bit.
I understand, and I get her rationalization of it, but it's like,
yeah,
man, if I would have thought about it beforehand, I would have told you, yes, absolutely, please.
I mean, they'll still be like claws. They just won't be,
razor sharp claws.
Exacto knife tips. Yeah,
they won't be scalpels. They'll be butter knives. Can you buy like surgical scalpels on Amazon? I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Asking for a friend. Sarge. Sarge. Hello, Sarge.
Yeah, you can.
You can bite
If
his.
not, if not, you can easily find medical supply places that do, because there's a lot of uses for
Yeah.
home medication, like home management of stuff that scalpels make sense for.
Mm-hmm. And it's just in time that we got Maddie fixed too, because Sarge is starting to go into heat. Although the doctor did warn us that he could still get her pregnant for up to 30 days. So we're trying to keep the cats from dividing into more cats through mitosis. However that works.
Oh,
I don't know. Nobody ever talked about the birds and the cats and the bees with me. Hi, sweetheart.
the birds and the cats and the bees, a thruple story. Thruple in the woods.
Nature's polycule. But he's been doing pretty well aside from that. He has been eating, which is good. When we got him home, he was immediately like up and moving. He was not reeling from the anesthetic at all on Monday, and he's just been going full tilt up ever since. They say, be careful, don't let him jump and strain and stress himself too much. And I'm like, you stop him. Tell me how that works out for you. I laid the cat tree down on its side so that he didn't have to jump too high. You stop him from jumping.
Um, I've been thinking about the question. I don't know about formative. I don't think. Well, no. I would say from youth to adolescent, probably one of the most formative things that really shaped the way I thought about games was either Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy. Like one of the early RPGs, because just the whole idea of just like grinding and mapping things out and
This isn't all about reflex. I'm going to have to invest effort, but it's not, can I mash the buttons fast enough?
yes, that it. I mean, I played a lot of Nintendo game,
Yeah.
but even Zelda games were still like Zelda 1, Zelda 2, like they were Twitch games. They were reflexive. They were skill based.
Yeah.
They were reflex based. Most NES games were. I mean, look at the epitome of like the Ninja Turtles game. That was
With
just
the water
torture.
level with the seaweed? Yeah.
Yeah, or the horrible Batman game that was like either awesome or sucked and
Yeah.
nothing in between. There
Yeah.
was okay, this was okay, it was kind of bad, but I'd say past that, um, EverQuest.
I could dig that. I could dig that.
Well, actually, no. I think what did I play? Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 11, probably. Which I know, being almost 20, do you still count that as formative?
If it made a huge impact or change or provided large guidance into how you think about things,
Oh, then yeah, Final Fantasy 11.
definitely.
And
Definitely.
my first MMO, like that greatly changed, you know, how different ways I learned how to scalp people out of their money and you know crafting and just playing the market, and turned me into a virtual day trader without even without the stock market and all that stuff.
Yeah. No, you got alarmingly good at that. I still am convinced that you're secretly rich.
No,
Well,
there would be
that would be the secret part of it. Yes.
there would. I'm not saying I would tell anybody that I won the lotto, but there would be signs.
signs.
No, I'm not secretly rich. I was.
Enjoy your meeting. Much love to you. Thank you for stopping in.
That really opened my eyes to the world of live service games and manipulating other people and how the large part of people playing games are dumb. They don't read. They don't read dialogue. They don't read text, and you can take advantage of that.
Not to
And
call anybody out by name or anything.
well, no, not honestly. I wasn't even thinking of that person. No,
Yeah.
but just in general. I mean, everybody. I mean, I do it too. Sometimes when you're playing, you don't.
You just want the next thing to happen that's going to happen.
Right, and people don't. When you're in school, they're always talking about, oh, critical thinking and pulling out word problems and stuff like that, and breaking stuff apart. It's like, most people don't do that. That is not that kind of, because of the way MMOs were, especially a horribly run Japanese PlayStation era game. They were built like that, and that was a skill I had because of how my brain is wired. So I took advantage of that.
Yeah.
I knew it. Here's a dumb quick story. So in the game, there were three nations. There were one over here, one over here, like kind of in a big triangle. You belonged to one nation, and as you did stuff, your nation got points. And every week they calculated the points, and whoever had the most points the previous week was now king of the crown or whatever. They were first, second, and third place. But whoever was in first, their city had extra vendors and stuff was a little bit cheaper, and there was just more stuff there. And the second place had some vendors, but not, and things were
second place
not
steak
cheap.
Knives, yeah.
It was like normal, but like whoever's in first place had extra vendors in their city. And also some of those vendors, the normal ones that were there, are slightly discounted on stuff. And whoever was in third place didn't really get anything, but they had less vendors. So obviously everybody wanted to go out and do stuff in the name of your city. Well, one of the things they had there was, that was weird. One of the things they had there was they had a merchant, a little girl, that if you brought her 100 arrows and a flower, and it was a different flower for each city, but that's pointless. It was like a little token amount, like pennies.
Yeah.
Flower, and she would bundle 100 arrows into a quiver. So your arrow slot could only hold so many arrows, and each bundle of arrows was 100 arrows, and you could fit 12 quivers in one inventory space. So rather than okay, I'm going to go out in the field and take 400 arrows, so you got 4 inventory slots, I could go take an entire 1,200 arrows in one slot. And all you had to know was where this little girl was in the leading city and pay her, a couple pennies to bundle them in there. But you could sell these quivers. You could put them up in the auction house and you could sell them, and people would buy them because people were too lazy or they didn't know where quivers came from. And they would, if a stack of arrows was, we'll say 1,000 gold, you could easily, it cost me 1,000 gold to the merchant to get 100 arrows, right? I could bundle that up into a quiver and sell it for 1,500. And make 500 gold profit doing nothing.
Yeah, you clicked
because I knew
3 times. Yeah.
In this city was over there, and this city was over there, and I would take every week. I would take a couple minutes, and I would go to the city that was in first place, and I would buy up an inventory full of arrows and go over there and bundle them up and put them up for sale because people who were in the other city didn't, and now cart them back to the other city who they couldn't get the quivers easily. Either they knew we're there and they just didn't want to do the trip for doing nothing. Millions upon millions and millions of money I just generated from doing nothing. I literally was I was a drop shipper. I was flying to China to buy phone cases for a penny to bring back 1,000 of them back to the US to sell them for $15 to do nothing.
It's wild. It's wild, and I love it.
This is what I did 20 years ago.
Yeah. Now we just have to figure out how to turn that into real money. Ha ha ha. But at that point, it becomes a job.
It takes capital. The thing is even then, I could only do a couple. I only had a couple thousand gold in my name, so I'd invest half of what I made into that and hoped it sold, and it always did. And I'd had more the next week and the more the next week until, it snowballed up. Private grape juice.
Grape
Yeah.
juice and meat. Yep.
And in general, just I knew I stayed on top of, changes. I read the patch notes that day and I saw like what changes they made and what new consumables. And I followed the meta on the forums and I knew what was going where. And I would go and find where those things were. If they were, only one vendor and it was off the ass end of the jungle and it took a while to get there because you had to take a boat to go to an island, go through jungle to get the only merchant in the game that sold pineapples to sit and craft pineapple juice, because there was 15 levels where that was the best food you could have was pineapple juice. I would sit and craft pineapple juice for Jeff can attest this for like 8 hours a day, just sitting there on the one island crafting pineapple juices by the infinite boatloads and selling them to people because it was the best stuff, but it took work to get there.
Yeah.
That was formidable because I know I look for stuff like that in games, and that gives me,
My biggest one is kind of a series that approached my feelings on multiplayer. Back in the day, like old, I was teeny tiny little itty bitty kid, pre-NES days. They had the Atari and they had arcades and stuff, and there were some games you could play cooperatively. And then there were some games where you took turns. You went and then the other person went, and you went, the other person went. The original Legend of Zelda was the first game that wasn't really designed with two people in mind. It wasn't a take turns kind of game. There was a lot of exploration. It was a big exploring game.
Mm-hmm.
And Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior would have been the same way. It was the first time I had a game where you didn't play with someone else. And, the first time that Mom said, hey, okay, now it's so-and-so's turn. And then I had to just go pick my nose for an hour because they were going through the game. And it made me rethink a little bit about games, At the ripe old age of 5, I'm like, okay, I understand now that sharing is a sacrifice. And then, they continued making games you played together, fighting games. I do like sharing games. I do like gaming with other people. I don't object to sharing. I'm not that kind of guy. And then Phantasy Star Online came out on the Dreamcast. And all of a sudden, I wanted to play with other people. It wasn't a side effect of gaming. It was, this game is easier if we work together, because it was us against the world. And that's the first game I got into that feeling with, was PSO. And then I played the giant robot tank game with the expensive-ass controller, Steel Battalion. And it showed me that some games I don't want to play with other people because I am not very good at video games, and some games build toxic communities. But all of these things shaped my approach to multiplayer gaming. And right now where I stand, and when we were working on Interstellar Salvager, this is what actually made me think of it. I wanted to write a game where things go better if you work together and nobody gets punished if things get wrong. Games are supposed to be fun. There's some element of challenge or puzzle or difficulty in there. There has to be an obstacle for it to be a game, but it should be fun. Or if not fun, it at least shouldn't be punishing. I suppose you could argue that picking up garbage on a spaceship is not fun. But then again, Viscera cleanup detail, it's the same thing. Just more blood and guts.
Have you watched Lethal Company?
Yes.
If you take out the insta-death and the horror, basically what they made was first-person salvager.
It is 100%.
Don't let that discourage us.
Right.
Because that just proves that concept of, okay, we're a crew, we have to go salvage the junk, is a good
Yeah.
idea and model.
Yeah. Well, the iPod wasn't the first MP3 player. If someone else did it, just do it better. You know, that's why I keep working on all the goofy stuff I'm working on. You know, but it really does. It does continue to shape and inform both the games I like to play and the games I end up making. I mean, some of that's just, make stuff within my limitations and skills, but a lot of it is make stuff that I would want to play. You know. I don't know. Maybe one of these days. I think it would be a decent time to take a quick little 5-minute break. Just go refill the
Yes.
tanks and everything.
Yes, literally, I was about to ask if we could go. I need water. I don't know what it is. My voice has just been. It's a
No worries at all. Let me add
post
a
nasal or something.
thing here. We'll take a 5-minute break. I'll put a little timer up. We will be right back in just a few. Let me switch windows real quick here. Here we go. Boop.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hi.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Happy break time.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I think if we're going to continue to do this, I'm actually going to make us a opening and a closing and a intermission scene so I can switch between them. But hey, I can do that tonight now that we know kind of how the flow is going to go, I think.
Yeah.
Also, hashtag not sponsored, but woo, Liquid Death. Yay. I'm telling you, this
Woo,
Slaughterberry
water.
is amazing. You need to try one of these. It is way too good. It's just like the raspberry tea that you get anywhere you get the raspberry tea that I used to drink 2 at a time at Perkins. Do you remember when we'd go and
Oh, okay. I'm like, I actually don't know what raspberry tea tastes like. I tend not to
yeah.
raspberry.
Yeah. No, it used to be the like late night stop for us. It was the other Denny's, and we were there often enough that they knew I wanted the raspberry tea, and they brought 2 because I swallowed one whole and then drank the other one. I miss that. And I don't know if it's just this area that doesn't have any good 24-hour places to go.
No, they don't. They just don't exist.
I get it, but I don't like it. I miss that.
I was in line grocery store or something, and there was a little old lady that was like trying to start conversation. Something about like Walmart 24. Like, oh, I tried to go to Walmart the other night and they were closed. Like, yeah, they have been 24 hours since the start of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And they just never brought it back because they
realized
not enough
they could get away
people,
without it. Yeah.
Well, realistically, their foot traffic was probably low enough, but they're there anyways. They still do third shift stocking. It just now there's not people in their way and they can block the aisles and they can get done quicker because they don't have the few customers walking around.
Right. I like I said, I get it. I just don't like it personally.
Well, they also do their pickup then too.
Yeah, when they like pull pickup orders and stuff.
Yeah, you can put in your order during the night when you're there and pick it up at 8 a.m. And if you put it in at 2 in the morning when you got off work, it is ready at 8 because it was one of the first orders they pulled.
Yeah. I should do that. That would be the best way for some value of best to do my shopping. Is pick up
Curbside
order
pickup?
through app, yeah, from Walmart.
Oh yeah. Dude, Aldi's does curbside pickup. You can put in an online Aldi's order.
Really?
And they walk around the store and they put your order together and then you hit a button when you get there and you park out front and you hit a button and somebody brings it out to you.
Is
and it's
it
like
through their app or?
I think so.
Ooh.
Because they advertise it all over the thing and I always see somebody walking around with this like mega multi-basket cart like getting things and tapping something in. So I'm like, they're doing. I don't know why I don't do it. It's a tiny store. I can walk around for 10 minutes, but like if
Yeah,
you
but
were
you
in a
have
hurry,
impulse control.
no, I don't.
I shouldn't be allowed in the store.
I own one of these. Do you know what this is?
I do not.
It's even got the sticker on the bottom. It is a wine bottle coaster. It won't
I
focus.
a wine bottle coaster.
Yes. But do you know what I use it for? A coaster. Because I have a bunch of drinks. I have a bunch of container things that all. I have one that like perfectly fits in this size. It is a hunk of marble or something. But it's a coaster that has a rim. So when bottles condensate and they sweat, it doesn't go all over. I don't need a flat coaster because that doesn't do anything. I need a bowl. But I have a metal water bottle that perfectly fits in it.
Fair.
I bought this at I
The
don't remember, where's it?
store.
Dollar General or something?
Yeah.
Like I'll find a use for that. And then I realize, oh yeah, it's a coaster. It works.
You can put a drink in it.
It's gonna sound dumb.
A drink in it.
Drink goblin. You end up with a bunch of cups on your desk, right? And you're like, crap, which one was my drink? The drink I'm currently drinking goes in that.
No idea what that's like at all. Yeah.
The thing I'm drinking goes in that. When it's empty, I take it out. But when I know I can reach for that.
I can dig that. I can absolutely dig that.
No, the Aldi's junk aisles is the worst thing ever for me because I will buy stuff.
It's there and it looks neat. I'm already reaching for my wallet. Although,
except right now it's all full of. It was full of Valentine. No, first it was full of chips, leading up to the Super Bowl, and then it was full of Valentine's candy, and now it's full of Easter candy.
yeah, it is that time, ain't it? The eggs are in season.
Aldi has their own order pickers as well as Instacart. Ah.
See, now there's an interesting question. Should I go through their internal one, or should I go through a service?
Yes.
Go through the internal one?
I would try the Aldi's one first at least once. Because I know they do. It's less back and forth than you have with Instacart.
Fair.
And I know you can like set like there's not alternatives. Either they have something or they don't, and their app is probably more aware of what they have.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have which of these 6 different brands of the exact. I don't know. Get me a can of beans.
Yeah.
As long as it's not $20, it's a can of beans. If one's $1 more, I don't care. It's still a can of beans.
I want my Lidl branded protein nuggets.
No, they have beans.
Yeah.
Do you want them or not?
That's the best thing about Cane's chicken tenders is their menu. Like, what are my options? It's like, well, you could get the chicken strips or you couldn't. I mean, they do make you pick how many and how much toast and coleslaw you want with it. And they do technically have a chicken tender sandwich, which I will get and eat, but your options are, do you want the chicken tenders or don't you? And I admire a place that's as bold as that. To go back.
That is interesting.
Go ahead.
That is interesting. The rise of effectively single food.
Specialty, yeah.
Yeah. I know chicken is bulk and cheap, but like there's Slim Chickens, there's Raising Cane's, there's other places, but like and in some way Chick-fil-A too, but I mean in general there's a lot of we do this food. This is the only type of food we do.
Arby's is trying with that whole we got the meats, but they got lots of meats, and some of them got like salad on them. I do like Arby's. Beside the point. But no, I was going to circle back to
I
like the
occasionally
IKEA
do.
thing. One of the big benefits of going to IKEA, and I promise I'll make it quick, is the closest one is Columbus, and I happen to know that on the way there is a skyline, and on the way back there's a White Castle, or vice versa.
So it may not be. Yes, as the crow flies, as the crow drives on the road, it is the closest. As the crow flies, the one in Canton, Michigan is technically closer because every time I open up the map, it's like it defaults me to there because I am technically closer to there. But it's along around the long side of the triangle. But the thing is you have to check if you're doing an IKEA trip and you're pre-planning any of it online, make your wish list on the app and then change which store you're looking at, and it will show you which things are in stock or out of stock at that store, and change to Columbus, Pittsburgh, and Canton, because it's a Venn diagram of what's in stock at what locations.
Yeah.
Because you may find that things you want, oh, they're out of stock in Columbus, let me switch to Pittsburgh. Oh, they're all in stock there. It's worth the extra 20-minute driving time to go there to get all the stuff.
Well, that also ties to like your big stuff, small stuff theory too. Make your list of everything you want. Find out who has the majority of the small stuff and get the rest shipped. I'm starting to see your strategy now.
I have went between my sister and Laura and our stuff here too. I have been to IKEA over 24 times in the last 10 years.
I have never actually been to one.
When my sister was setting up her house, we went down there 3 or 4 times, like once a month when she had her actual weekend off. We'd go down. I'd go down with Laura once or like about every other month.
Yeah.
Basically, they would bring me along under the guise of feeding me meatballs in exchange for lifting the heavy things in and out of their car.
Can't argue it.
I will pay you in meatballs to lift heavy boxes. And I'm like, okay. And then usually put stuff
together.
Yes. That
sounds fair.
We almost got an IKEA here in Cleveland.
Really?
The old American Greetings building over on near Tiedemann.
Yeah.
Yeah, they almost turned that into an IKEA.
Oh man.
And then they didn't because American Greetings dragged their ass on stuff because Crocker dragged their ass on getting them the building over there, and they end up having to like move things around. And then they were supposed to turn what is the Costco in Strongsville down the hill in that whole shopping center.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be also an IKEA, and IKEA didn't end up going with that because of the hill and the trucks. And even Costco has a pain in the ass with that now too.
Yeah, I can see that.
And also some with the parking lot. Like there wasn't enough parking lot because they knew how much volume it would bring in.
Yeah.
And they're like, this parking lot's too small. And they're like,
that's another thing, man. I want a specialty food delivery service where your food's going to take forever to get there for places that are far away.
Okay.
They closed all the skylines near us. The closest one is
Skyline?
Were you drinking mouthwash?
No.
Okay. I'm not sure I believe you, but I don't think I want to ask any further.
Is legally distinct non mouth cleaner.
You're not in the like Windex bottles yet. We're good.
No, you are right. It is a Listerine bottle. But I found out that the light blue Gatorade looks strangely exactly like it.
God bless you. You are my favorite person. I hope you know that.
And it's a 500 milliliter bottle, so I can it's make two, throw one of those packets in it.
That is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I am so glad. But yeah, Skyline or White Castle. Like, I want to pick a day for delivery as opposed to I need it now because I am ordering dinner. I want a
Yeah.
case of White Castle on Friday. I understand it could show up anytime. It's a long drive. I understand I'm going to be buying this person a tank of gas before I tip them, But I want to be able to do that. Yes, hands. That's how excited I get for White Castle. And they're still supposed to be building another Skyline here somewhere on the west side of the greater Cleveland metro area.
Really?
I'll believe it when I see it, but they keep threatening it, and that is coming from corporate that they're looking for franchise locations, which makes me mad because they had one lined up when they closed the one close to me. They better do it soon.
It may end up getting out in my neck of the woods because there's a whole strip up near the Walmart in Avon.
I can deal with that. That would be fine.
Well,
I
no,
would be
there's
okay.
like a whole empty dead country road where they're just like building. That's why they put a Raising Cane and all this other stuff, and just like bam, 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 but just rapid construction of stuff because there's storefront space. It's in that area where they put like, there's like a oh god, what's the clothing company that's the big outdoor
Pin Feather for Outfitters?
No.
Carhartt.
There's like no, the other one. They make the jeans and stuff. Anyway, but there's places like that, but they're like they're seriously like a half mile back from the road. Yeah. No, not Cabela's. It's like a Cabela's, but it's one of those. But they're like way back from the road. Like, legitimately, I wouldn't want to walk that far. Yeah. It's like, why would you do this? It's because they don't actually own that space, and they can sublet that out to put an entire another business in the front of it. And they did. They ended up putting. That's where City Barbecue's at.
That place is really good. It is. It is. Although the meme I was sending around about you got to try this new barbecue place, it's kind of true of them. I'm not going to deny that. Can I bring that up here? Yeah, let me.
Okay, this is angering me. I have to go look this up. Duluth.
There
is a Cabela's. There is a Cabela's 2 slots down also. But yeah, Duluth Trading Company. They're like way back from the road.
Yeah,
and they're just putting
the new barbecue place in town. Ha ha ha. I just had to share it again because we were talking about City Barbecue, and it's truth. It's good, but it's truth. But yeah, they are supposed to be building another Skyline out here. And I really hope they do. And if it ends up over by you, terrible. I have an excuse to be in your neighborhood more often. Whatever shall I do? Weep, wail, clutch pearls. No, $38.99 is Mission Barbecue over in Parma.
Nope, not that one.
That place is expensive without being worthy of it, I would say. They're good. They are not their price worth of good.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Then again, it's tough to say what a fair price for barbecue stuff is, in my ever so humble opinion.
I don't disagree with them charging a premium even for the meat,
Yeah.
because meat is expensive and it is their time and their machines to, experience to cook it that way.
Right.
I hate how much the sides have gotten at those places.
$7 for a cup of greens? Yeah.
Hello, cat.
Bro, I can just go in the gutters on my house and scoop off an equal. Okay, maybe not, but greens ain't that expensive. Collard greens and mustard greens, they ain't that pricey. Then again, I never do make my own. I have a pressure. Can you make greens in a
Yes.
pressure cooker? Do they come out okay?
Yep. Yeah.
I have a pressure cooker. Why don't I collard my own greens? That is whichever side.
I'm coloring
This
my
side.
own greens.
That is Lassiter over there. He big. He chonk. He large.
Yeah, he's okay.
I love him. He very friendly. He very friendly to me because I don't ever see him. or the mac and cheese, which it's not Kraft mac and cheese. But there needs to be a name for the restaurant generic mac and cheese. It's not KD. It's something else, but there's no name for that. It's Cisco mac and cheese. Hi, Lassiter. I love you. Mwah, 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 I love you. That baby. Is he gonna say hi to my little croissant over here? My croissant.
Oh, he probably wants to sit on the chair. I got my tortilla. My tortilla's in the way. No, it is. I have a tortilla blanket.
Or when you make a fuzzy burrito. That's amazing.
Yes, because it is cold down here sometimes, and I will hunker up and sit with the controller. And
that is amazing. I love that. That is good stuff.
Yeah. There, you can sit up on the chair now.
I bought 2 boxes of Kraft Dinner, and a can of Skyline chili, and a pack of hot dogs, just to scratch the itch the other day. It worked. It ain't the same, but it worked. Just cut up the hot dogs and make the KD
pound of cheese.
Yeah, we had leftover cheese from when we made burritos and tacos and cumin dusted ground beef wrapped in a tortilla. I don't know. When are the chicken nuggets coming out of Taco Bell?
March. They said this stuff was soon.
It better be. I want to try those. Live Moss Live was an amazing event.
You know what? They're going to be the Chick-fil-A like chicken chunk nuggets. That's all they are.
Yes, but if they're dusted with Taco Bell seasoning, they're going to be tasty. The same way when they did the chicken bites at Rally's, they put the fry seasoning on them. They did the mozzarella sticks like that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Monsterella sticks.
Really?
Yes, because I think they were blended cheeses for one thing, so they couldn't just call them mozzarella sticks. But that gave them then an excuse to give them a branding name and put the French fry seasoning on them and all of that whatnot. You know, oddly enough, that's something I haven't tried, but I understand why.
What?
Is reheating Rally's fries in the air fryer. Although the reason I haven't tried it is I don't think I've ever had leftover fries from Rally's.
Yeah, I'll see stories of like, put your leftover. I'm like, what do you mean leftover?
Yeah.
No.
I am a family of one. If I buy a family-sized bag of Oreos, I am going to eat a package of Oreos.
I mentioned about my neighbor and the thing.
Yeah.
I also brought up that when I do get pizza, and I still do get pizza like once a week, maybe not every week, but about once a week.
Yeah.
I'm not getting 3 pizzas and 2 sandwiches and a lava cake and another thing. It's not a ton of boxes. When I go get a pizza, I'll get like the Little Caesars, like the half and half, like the sticks and slices thing, which is 1 box.
The warm and available special.
No, they make these fresh to go.
Yeah.
But it's half pizza, half breadsticks. Like they just cut one of the same dough vertically. Which apparently I heard from them they hate making.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because they can't just go chuk 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 and they're done. They have to it's a lot more cuts. But no, it's like
a
$7.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's 1 box, and I don't even eat the whole thing in one day. I'll eat 2 of the slices and half of the breadsticks, and I will have that thing. So that's 1 box for 2 days of meals.
Yeah.
So
even if you did that every day for a week, it would take you 3 weeks to fill up a garbage can with boxes. Yeah.
Yeah. My local one is actually they almost never have hot and readies ready. For whatever reason, they just never do. But I think they're just short staffed, or they're just they just never have them ready.
Yeah.
They have the nighttime one. They have a different pizza that they have hot and ready in the evenings. But they're always on top of that. But I think it's because they have more than one person there to manage it.
Yeah, you have to eat during the day, and you're fending for yourself right now.
Yeah.
You don't. There's the dinner thing. Everybody dinners, but when I went full-time remote, it screwed with me so bad because I was so used to the cafeteria at work. And I've taken you there. The food there's decent.
Nope, you haven't.
I swear you've been
Nope.
there. Didn't you come up with Scott once?
Nope.
For pretzel chicken?
Nope.
I'm going to drag your ass up to Highland and make you go to the diner with me. The food there is good. You're going to be my guest. I'm taking you out for lunch to the office.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Keep talking.
But
we were talking the other day about interesting electrical cords that I have.
Oh, yeah.
I have another one. I have this, which plugs in and is a pass-through, but is also a tap off the side.
Oh, neat.
So if you need to put it in your power strip and you need to move that wall wart out of the way, but you still need another plug, you can plug something smaller back into it and still have the big brick off of it in case you need something with a bend or something.
You're one of the only people I know that would actually own a male-to-male grounded plug adapter.
Yeah.
You see every year the hardware stores have signs up that are you do not need a male-to-male adapter. They do not exist. If your wiring requires it, you hung your Christmas lights wrong.
If you are using this, the only people that should be using this already know what this is for.
Yeah.
Nobody should be buying this. The people that need those should know how to make them.
Yeah, that's if you're using it as a generator backflow, yeah, okay, I get it. In that case, it makes sense. You should have your own.
There was, for whatever reason, I follow r/electricians on Reddit, where it's actual electricians talking about actual, professional electricians talking about actual electrician stuff. Yeah. And it always comes up about those. And they were talking changing that backfill plug into a different shaped plug.
Yes.
So it does not look like, two normal, 2x1, to be some sort of weird connector. So that double in one just does not have any reason to exist.
Yeah.
And it'll be one that it should be like a lock-in. Honestly, it should be like the 3-phase one where they lock in with a ring anyways.
Yeah.
But any other plug in the planet.
Just anything. Yeah. Not that. Don't make it. a power to Ethernet adapter. You don't need one. This is not a thing you need.
I've actually seen in newer builds, they have in locations, Ohio or more north where home generators are more common, they'll build in a receptacle directly on the box for a generator backfill, but it's controlled by a switch that is an OR.
Yeah.
When you flip it over the generator, it disconnects the line, so your generator can never backfill to the grid, which is what the dangerous part is. It just like hard cuts over, and it is disconnected. But it's like, boop, just another port right there. And I know all this because my former boss was looking at getting a home generator because they have power line problems in her area because of the trees. They go down all the time. And I'm like, your city needs to just like suck it up and do buried power lines and just get them out of all those. Every tree lawn or every yard has these massive trees, just absolutely massive ones. And there's always something falling.
It's absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. I mean, they even out here they try to stay on top of it, but how many times have you seen a branch take down a line? Like when the POTS line went down here, and I was like, "Help, Pluzzy, what do I do?" The telephone line. I don't have a landline telephone at the house anymore, and the telephone line to my house got taken out by a branch, and it was just laying in the yard. I did not know what to do. I don't know what phone company to call because I don't have phone service. Who owns that line? And I had to go round and round. Yeah, they did eventually come take it.
Okay. Yeah, we weren't entirely sure, and I went out there and I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually disconnected at the other end because I disconnected it.
Yeah.
And then I yanked it all down.
But they did come get it. I still say I should have kept it and sold the copper. Get my nickels for it.
No, copper's not. I mean, it's still kind of valuable, but it's not like the old days. Fair. Oh my god.
I agree. I very much agree.
No, my thing's not going off. Yeah. I'm just sick or something.
Yeah, you've been fighting that for a little while now.
Yeah, it's only in my throat. It's not in my head, but it just, I don't know.
Oh no, it's all in your head. I've never guessed.
In your head.
You're crazy. What would make
you
think
head. Zombie. What year is it?
The cranberries, just like this tea. Actually,
yeah.
I don't think there's cranberry in it, but
there's cranberry in everything, and I hate it.
I like cranberry.
Well, good for you. There's more for you then. I don't like cranberries.
I also like free shavakadu.
I didn't for a long time.
It grows on you, though.
Okay, I liked avocados on stuff because, like I said, I lived in California effectively for many years.
Yeah.
You can get avocado on McDonald's cheeseburgers. It's just because it's like fresh fish out there.
Yeah.
I like avocado. I did not like guacamole for the longest time. And I don't know if just like the default guacamole mix changed at places. They made it different, or they added something, or they stopped adding something. But I got it occasionally. I got it one day. I'm like, oh, what is it? Like, oh, that's the guacamole. I'm like, I don't hate this. What changed?
Something's different now. This is good, but it is different. It is not suddenly good. This is good. What I had before was not.
Maybe it was just a Chipotle thing, because essentially the only place I ever got guacamole was Chipotle.
I could buy that.
And maybe it was after the great, portion shift. They like added less.
Just everything. They put less in there.
Well, less onion or less something, because it's now exactly one, quarter tablespoon of chopped onion and not some and it was too much onion or something.
Yeah.
Avocado gets a latex allergy.
It's related to the rubber tree.
Oh! Wait.
Kind of like how white pepper is part of the same family as cashew.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's that kind of thing, yeah.
It's distant enough that it has the right enzyme in its tree or something.
Because we know, you and I know people that are allergic to cashews that can't have white pepper. And I found that out the hard way once, and I felt very bad about it.
I don't like cashews in cooking.
I like cashews by themselves.
Yeah.
But like I could do without them, and like I don't like cashew chicken. I don't like the cashews in cashew chicken.
Or that's why I don't like most Thai food is it's got a lot of either peanuts or almonds or is it almonds?
Can you buy mixed nut butter?
Yeah.
Where?
I would go to a market type store that tends to sell
like a
weird...
Whole Foods or Fresh Time or Whole Earth Market or whatever.
Yeah.
That'd probably work. I don't know. I just want like assorted nut paste for my sandwiches. Peanuts.
Jess made it one time. She made her own peanut butter like homemade thing, and it was weird because it would separate because it didn't have any of the stabilizer, so the oil separated, so you just had to like thoroughly blend it. Yeah. And we ended up like, oh, this is too inconvenient. We're just gonna eat it quicker. I'm gonna have a peanut butter jelly sandwich every day to make this jar go away.
I am gonna have to check Heinen's. I will have to check there.
I know places that tend to sell peanut butter alternative.
Yeah.
For people who are peanut allergy, but you still want a nut butter, they tend to have blended nut butter because you don't want just one kind of nut because they all have different properties.
Yeah.
Like if you make cashew butter, it's very oily and it separates really quickly and it doesn't hold as well. But like almonds are almost like not good for that, so them together kind of stabilize each other. So places that would have alternative foods would probably have that.
Alternative food sounds like it's not wrong, but alternative food sounds like alternative foods. Yes. It's just got that feel like if I'm searching for the alternative foods, it's like, yeah, well, you can just fuck off over there then. I get it. I get it.
Not a record shop.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Where's your alternative section? In the back, behind the curtain. Here's change. Here, do I need change for the machine? No, it takes whole dollars.
Oh man. I do need to go grocery shopping though soon, and by go I definitely mean have someone bring me food that I paid too much for, and then paid them money to bring me, and then paid them money to thank them for bringing me.
You know, I'd be willing to do that for you.
What are your delivery fees and service charges like?
Well, I tend to come over on Mondays for dinner anyways.
That is true. That is true.
I could come between my stores and your stores. I could just leave the house at noon, spend a couple hours doing your grocery shopping, and then bring it to you as I'm coming to your house anyways.
I will keep that in mind. I will probably take advantage of that. I think the first thing I need to do is figure out what I want and what I need. Then we'll worry about all of that. And I need to clean the fridge out tonight. Yesterday was garbage day. Tonight is clean the fridge out and put it at the bottom of the garbage can. we missed a week of garbage day and the can was full. And then we had a nice empty can again that we could get rid of the garbage that had sat for a week. And now we're caught back up. So tonight I need to clean out the fridge because we're not sitting on full garbage cans waiting for the can to be empty again.
Here's an idea for a service. If you have, most cities have garbage pickup service like that.
Yeah.
You have a can, which means there is an upper bound limit of how much garbage you can dispose of in a week.
Right.
And you were at a surplus. A service where you could, even if it was a community thing, say, I have an extra bag of garbage. Here is my location. Can somebody take it and put it in their empty garbage can?
Yeah.
You register as, I have some empty space because I only generate, a half a bag a week because I'm 65 and I eat by myself. I'll come, for $5, I'll come take your garbage and put it in my garbage can. Distribute the packets to where there's the imbalance.
I don't want to late stage capitalism on this and figure out how we can turn it into a money making service. But I'd be lying if I said the thought didn't float through my head briefly.
If there's a regulated delivery packet size and an upper bounds, but everybody's contribution is different.
Yeah.
I even agree with my neighbor. If any of our cans are overflowing and my can's out there, go ahead. Yes, you can put stuff in my garbage can. And I told him if you have extra garbage, go ahead and put it in my can. Drag it out to the street. I'll come get it later. Let me know, and so I'll go pick up the can. Don't leave it out there. But you can use my garbage cans if you have overflow.
That's another thing that I wish was a service that I could pay a minimal amount for. As dumb as it sounds, just because of the brain space it takes, is take the cans out, bring them back in. Just like a paper route, someone goes behind my house where the city mandates I put the cans, takes them out at 9 p.m., which is within legal guidelines, and brings them back in at 5 p.m. the next day or whatever the legal thing is. And it doesn't matter if there's anything in it or not. I just want to consistently know the cans are going to go out and come back every week. I'll worry about filling them up. If they're empty, so be it. Drag out an empty can, make the truck go through the motion of lifting it up. But I don't ever want to be like, crap, I forgot to get the garbage out. Then again,
you could probably do that.
I have many tasks like that if I had a maid or a cleaning service or something like that would be ideal. But the prices for those are out of my range right at the moment.
I started seeing ads for Molly maids, and I'm like, I wonder how much that is. And I looked into it. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's my problem. I would be getting my money's worth out of that. I will not deny that. In what it bought me back in free time and peace of mind, it would be an erstwhile investment, but it is absolutely not one I can make right now.
Yeah. My mom had an idea for a business, doing effectively.
Uh-oh, it's that time already.
Landscaping, sort of landscape maintenance at cemeteries. To go and trim back the grass around the headstones and, swap out the flowers and, do the, just
polish the zombies, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff you want it to look nice, but you don't have time to go there and do, groundskeeping. But you could get, they would put fresh flowers on there, and trim things up and, keep it clean and stuff like that. But they get, a couple clients and go around the cemetery and do that for places. And it's it would be a weird, tenuous, you'd have to get agreements with the places.
Right.
Otherwise they'd be why are you going to all these places? And because you were operating a business on their land.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a weird operating your business inside of somebody else's business is always a weird set of agreements you have to have.
Right.
But I could see them doing that because it's basically, you know, like it's the same set of tools. Get a bunch of flowers, you know, you know, stop and pick them up from Batiti's or something, get them in bulk, swap all the flowers, you know, do, you know, clean off the headstones and, you know, any other like minor maintenance you're going to do, like on your hands and knees, basically just brushing the dirt off and, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, go and do that. It's not that hard. You could probably find some business to, you know,
Definitely.
set up a storefront somewhere because it's not like you have to ship goods. They're just sending you money. You need what? A Stripe account and a contact manager?
Yeah. And the thing is, I know you say like working out a bunch of agreements with the cemeteries and stuff, but like that can go both directions. Like if you indicate, hey, we are here to maintain and upkeep this cemetery on behalf of people who want to keep specific sites clean. As
Mm-hmm.
people come to you, you can let them know this is a service that is offered, maybe not by you, but it is a service that is available. And like not necessarily subcontracting, but mutual advertising, whatever. Radical.
Well, I know the one over there does do
Mount Holy
like
Mary, whatever.
they
Saint
do
Apartments. Sorry.
yeah, basically. Apartment view cemeteries. um like when they do the groundskeeping, they do like the bulk mowing and they remove everything, you know, and they know like, oh, they mow, you know, twice a month. You know, like they it's like they mow on the 1st and the 15th. So everybody goes on, puts their flowers out on the 2nd and the 16th, you know, after the mowing. And it's like, yeah, that's when they could go and do that. And hmm,
It would
I don't
work.
know.
It would
Yeah,
work.
it would.
I think it would work at least.
I mean, she had this idea years ago. She keeps bringing it up, and like, you are getting less young the more time passes on this. So
Just do it.
no,
Do
I
it.
don't think she, I don't think she could now. You know, 10 years ago when she suggested it, maybe, but she's she's getting sufficiently old now.
Yeah. The manual labor gets a little tougher every day. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ugh.
How many crazy ideas for small businesses have I had though? You know.
I'll get the book.
Yeah. It's
Jason's
floating around
big
here
book of bad
somewhere.
ideas.
I don't know. Every once in a while, I hit on a winner. I don't execute on it properly, but the idea itself is solid. It happens. It happens.
I will say your ideas in the past were not so much bad as in they were not reasonable within any range of
They were out of my
feasible.
scope.
Yeah, they weren't a bad idea. It was not feasible
Yeah.
either by you or realistically anybody that didn't already have business infrastructure already set up.
Yeah.
I think that's why your video, like your game making stuff, tends to actually happen. Is there's no barrier. I
It's
don't have to go start a business. I can just open up Notepad and start typing
yeah.
and make a game and put it on the internet, and then it exists.
Figuring out
You
how
don't
to
have to.
wrap a business around a thing we can already do is very different than. Yeah,
Yes.
I get that. I get that. I still say we need to buy Highland Software Building 1 and make it their headquarters of Hurgle Studios. They got 2 slides. 2 slides.
I'm sold.
One of them goes right down to the cafeteria.
Can I put in a ball pit?
Yes. That's why we need an office.
What's the opposite of deprivation?
Overload. I don't know. Overload.
I don't want a sensory deprivation room. I want a sensory overload room.
Yeah.
It is it's a ball pit room full of sand. I want maximum interaction with your senses. It's a rainforest sound machine in a ball pit.
Antonyms for deprivation: advantage, benefit, gain, profit. These are all terrible. It feels like there should be another Asian word that is the opposite. Right? Like deprivation feels like a couple of prefixes stuck on an Asian suffix.
Deprivation is like the verb form of deprive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or it's the act of.
Yeah. Deprivation is the state from depriving. Well, I suppose providing would be the opposite of depriving. Providation feels like it should be a word, but I don't think it is. Providence? That's not right. I suppose we shouldn't be arguing etymology here, but...
This week on Wordcast.
Oh, no. You don't want to do that with me. That ain't going to be no fun. Although that reminds me, I have to go play my new daily word game. Try word. Not that I made, but that I found. I wish in hindsight I did.
Oh, okay.
I'll throw a link in my chat, and I'll toss a link over to you too. You are given a set of letters. Well, you are given 3 sets of letters, and then some blanks. And the goal is to find the combination that can be put at the start or the end of the groups you're given, and create new words. Here, I'll spoil it for y'all at home. Today's puzzle, beep bop boop a dee, doo doo doo. Let me hit share there. If it'll share. Share. Don't share. See if I care. What are you doing? I did that wrong. I think I messed something up. I've ruined everything forever. What am I doing?
No, that was right. You were sharing.
Okay. I just didn't see it. That's why it was doing something.
You are used to the Zoom and OBS outline overlay thing that shows which apparently did not work for some people, which is why they're like, I can't tell if it's sharing. So don't you see the thing? No.
But like, I have Lex and Stan and Hall, and I need to find 3 letters that for each of those groups could go before or after, not both, to form a new actual word.
Will it go before or after? Like, it will always be afters or always be befores?
No, that's what makes the puzzle a challenge.
Okay, so the 3 could be a prefix for one and a suffix for... Like,
yes.
It could be a prefix for Lex and a suffix for Stan. Oh, okay.
Okay, I got this one. It is DUP, which would give us duplex, stand up, and hold up.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, now you got the premise of it. And it's just the new daily one that I do. And this is neat. This is really neat. I am so mad that I did not come up with this. I'm so mad I didn't come up with this. So now I have to figure out how to make my own version of it that's just different enough.
Here is, I don't know if this is a topic you want to get into 2 hours in. I don't know how long you want to do this. The idea of dailies in games. But specifically, like, not so much like, obviously in MMOs, it's, content drip, but that's in-game content.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is the model of like a little to the left, where it is the main game, but there's also a tiny recurring, repeatable daily thing to bring you back to that application. What is your opinion of, does that, what is your opinion on that?
As a person who plays games, for the most part, I love them. But there is a defining factor, depending on the type of game, where it can feel like a punishment if you miss them.
FOMO.
Well, dailies in MMOs are a good example.
Yeah.
Because there is a substantive penalty for not doing your dailies every day.
There's a shift with that. There's a big cultural shift of making it not as punishing if you don't do it every day. I know 14 is trying to get out of this pattern, but it is literally 10 years of patterns they have to kind of get out of.
Yeah.
Is, yes, a new one is available to you each day, but you can do, like, if you get a new one is available on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. If I don't log in until Thursday, what do I just not get to do my days for Tuesday and Wednesday? Or do I have 3 credits backed up and I can do 3 rounds of them on Thursday?
Yeah.
And I'm at the same rate, but that's why I don't have to log in every day, even though it make the daily the drip, but not the requirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen that in newer games, and I know MMO culture is wanting to shift to that because that was part of the big regulations change that they sort of rolled back in China, is not having games with required daily login incentive things. And they're like, oh, maybe this isn't a good idea to make that as a core part of that.
Right. We had this conversation talking about one of the projects we're working on, daily chess Sudoku, in which I picked an arbitrary start date where we start generating puzzles. A new puzzle is generated every day, but the calendar lets you go back and play any puzzle that already exists already.
Yep.
It is that daily content, and you get it drip fed, but it's not locked away when it's done. It's not gone and over with and you can't do it anymore.
Yep.
And that's one thing that the only thing that I dislike about Little to the Left is the daily puzzles are ephemeral. They only exist for the day. And I understand that they have like the achievement thing where it's like do all the daily puzzles for 15, 20, 30, 50, 100 days, whatever. Cool. Don't make that be consecutive, which they already don't.
No. The only one that's consecutive is the streak.
Yeah.
The other ones for the 50 and the 100 are not consecutive. It's just do 50 dailies over whatever time period.
Right. Okay, that does make it a little bit better then.
I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna double check that, but
I'm okay if you tell me it only counts toward 100 daily puzzles if 100 times I do the puzzle for that day. But I want the puzzles for the days I missed in between to be available somewhere. You know, if they are going through the effort of producing it, bundle them in a pack. At the end of every year, even if you have to sell it to me, and you shouldn't because you're giving it to me for free anyway, but even if you have to sell it to me, let me buy at the end of the year a $5 pack that's every daily puzzle from that calendar year.
No. because there's really only like 12 unique ones. They're the same puzzles. They're just procedurally randomly generated. It's there's only so many puzzles. It's not like it's anything unique.
Right. It's even less effort to do that.
But no, here's the thing. Effectively, what they need, instead of the daily thing, they need an endless mode.
Yeah.
Where it's just new puzzle, just the same way you're doing those daily, whatever math they're doing. Just give me the next one.
Yeah.
Put a counter and just generate them.
Yeah, 100%.
Give me endless mode. Let me just do this repetitively. But instead, they want the drip feed because they want you to come back every day because it shows daily numbers in Steam. That
makes me feel gross. For a game like this specifically, for a cozy game like this, I have this mental picture of the developers being passion project people like us. And that breaks that fucking immersion.
There are achievements for 7, 14, 30, 50, and 75 total dailies. And then there are ones for 7 consecutive, 14 consecutive, and then 30 consecutive.
I think I need to A, check my progress, B, check my dailies, and C, check my achievements to see if I got any of those yet.
I haven't gotten past the streak of 15 because I was dumb and I did not know how the clock one actually worked. And sometimes I would get it and randomly and I didn't know what I did. And I would get angry and then I'd miss a day and then I'd be behind in the streak and I'd just give up.
Yeah.
And I know how it works now.
The shadow clock ones are hinky.
Yeah.
Hinky is the best way to describe that.
Now I know what I'm looking for. I can find it very easily.
Yes.
I went back and I was doing them like, oh, okay, now I know exactly what you're looking for. It's the same way like people always get stuck on the symmetry ones.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do with these? Like, it's just a symmetry puzzle. Find the one piece that doesn't have 2 of them, put it in the middle and go.
Yeah.
You know?
Not me secretly doing my dailies over here while we're in the middle of a show or anything. Look, this game is legitimately one of the most addicting games. It has been my absolute pleasure to destroy myself by playing.
I have played other cozy games like that, and it does make me wonder the idea of a game that has a main play loop. Oh yeah. These ones, the snowflakes, are my favorite. I would sit in Snowflake game for hours if it just kept giving me just keep refilling the map with the pieces and just that's I would pay money for Little to the Left 2 if it had you could go into an endless mode of whatever type of puzzle you like.
All right, let me ask you a question. What do you think it would take to build this?
This game?
Yeah.
Like this game or just this puzzle?
Just this puzzle. If you want
not very much.
If you want endless snowflake games, should we write it? Should we put that on our list? You are a game studio now, Fuzzy. Do not forget that.
I think we could. I don't know if anybody would actually. I think eventually we should have an area or a designation for basically not mini games, but like here are idea fragments. Here is a part of a thing. We think you might enjoy it. If we get enough feedback, we'll flesh it out. But like, hey, I had an idea. If you came up with this first,
yeah,
I think a lot of the stuff in this game was independent little things.
it was bits and bobs and pieces that they found a way to theme consistently, and then from there turn into the game as a concept. Yeah.
Yeah. But you notice there's only so many of the daily ones that, because they have to be ones that aren't bespoke.
Yeah.
They are ones you could generate. You know, you could run. It's not the clock. This one, stuff like this, but not like the box, the crates with the tape.
Yeah. No, I
You
get
couldn't
that.
have one of those randomly generated every day, but you could have this because this is essentially just pieces.
What I did see though is I have been getting, to nobody's surprise, a lot of Facebook ads for a game that is effectively match 3 with store shelves. Find 3 of this product and put them in the same area on the shelf and they go away.
I've never seen that.
I will have to like get a screenshot of it next time I see it and send it to you, because I'm like, A, I could make that. B, I would play the hell out of that all the time, nonstop. Why haven't I made this yet? I'm sure between everything I do play, I've had a similar enough idea.
What if we had? Oh, it's kind of be a nightmare, but it's the best way I can think of it. Um, a mega holding game that we put mini games into, basically like WarioWare.
Yeah.
That when you came up with a new little game, we added to that. You don't put a fragment of a game on your website. You add it to, Jasonware, and it's another without. It's basically a little left without the puzzle, without the story mode.
Yeah.
It's bunch of mini games. Pick them up. Do some. You want to just repeat one? Cool. You want an endless stream of randomized? Give me the next one. Cool. You want triple points for doing the one daily one, so you have a reason to come back. You know,
Yeah.
get 100 points for doing the daily. Get 1 point for completing a puzzle in endless mode. You want to sit in endless mode? Oh, cool. We'll even give you something towards it. I don't know what these points actually do,
Yeah.
but they add up. But you also have a reason to come back, do at least one daily or whatever. But put the different games, and we don't have to write a whole new game. It's once a month. We have a month to come up with a new game, and we add it into the mix.
That is not a bad idea, honestly.
Come up
I
with,
dig that.
I don't know, 10, 5 to 10 puzzle games. Just dumb little puzzle games that you could do in a couple minutes, cozy little things, not reaction based. Just, do some things, put them in there. And then once, commit to coming up with a couple. Like, I have a runway to start.
Yeah.
Come up with 10, put 5 in it first, as we have a little bit of a runway.
Yeah.
But at least once, 1 to 2 a month, you add some more in. This way, at any point, you have people that can come back. They pick up comments like, hey, look, there's been 4 or 5 new games added.
Yeah.
At any point, someone's going to start playing it, and there's a whole bunch of content. It's
And that amount only goes up. Yeah.
and it's the same. It's effectively the same problem with MMOs.
Yeah.
Is they add stuff every patch, every 3-4 months. They add stuff, more stuff, and you jump in at the end, and you're like, oh god, there's so many things. Like, because you weren't meant to do. People catching back up. They're trying to go through the story, and in between there's the expansion, and then in between the expansions there's like a dead period, and they keep producing content that's bridge content.
Right.
It's like post main story wrap up, but also some of it's filler content, but it's like stuff like that. And people will come back, catching up to things like, oh my god, it's all this work, it's all this stuff, like, because you're doing content that was drip fed to us every 4 weeks for a year.
And now you feel like you have to get it all done at once.
And you're trying to do an entire a chunk of content that was given us to do here. Every 3 months there's another chunk of content. You're trying to get through that in 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. Do it at whatever pace. You're going to get through it.
Yeah. And part of it is a lot of people have that mindset where, like, I have to do all of it. Not, I am enjoying this and it is fun. It is more completion and less play.
It's one of the reasons that, like, personal experience, Destiny comes out with new seasons of stuff. They'll have their 3-4 month patches and they have a season of content, but they do each season is themed.
Yeah.
It's a season of the wish because there was a wish granting dragon, blah blah blah. But there's new quests that come out every week. But like you were saying with the content, so it's the weekly content, but the previous week didn't go away.
Right.
If you only have a weekend to play every other weekend, oh good, you have 2 weeks of quests to do. The other ones, you're not any far behind. You just are doing different objectives from everybody else.
Right. You're not losing because of that. Yeah.
Right. I got back into it because Mike was like playing Destiny briefly, and I got back into it, and I'm like, I joined in the middle of a season. It was like week 5 or 6 or 7, and obviously I couldn't even do any of that. I had to get caught up to even do that stuff, and it was already like week 8, and I'm like, oh, I can just sit and go through all these old ones and just churning through story that people were doing a month or 2 ago, but it's perfectly fine. That is a good way to do it.
Yeah, to keep, offer the pacing, yeah.
But they do 10 weeks of weekly stuff, and then there's 2 weeks of
big.
No, it is like open range. You get like double points or double. It's like free for all. Get caught up. You get double whatever progress. Because it's like, oh, you have to like go kill a bunch of enemies for this, and it's kill like 1,000 things because it's meant to give you something to do for more than 2 hours of content.
Yeah.
But in those weeks 11 and 12, when they're not new stuff, it's like, oh, all the missions get like double progress or something. And then 12 weeks is up, they go to a new thing and a new chunk of story. And the old missions, you can complete ones for a little while, but then eventually like, okay, previous season is locked.
Yeah.
Those are now gone because it's an evolving game. Right. They don't want to have you doing old stuff. They want you to do the current content. I think that's a good way to do it. It gives you within a scope of you don't have dailies. Yeah. You can contribute previous weeks, but not forever. But I want to play, Papa.
It's such a weird balance to find, though. It's a challenge to find that balance because somebody's going to be salty. First of all, if you make a game, somebody's going to be salty about the way you did it. Just hard stop.
I worry about even stuff like dailies and content windows and even like achievements, because half the thing with the little to the left, if you weren't trying to get that achievement, you weren't trying to get that 30-day streak, would you care about doing the daily in a little to the left?
A little.
Would you care as viciously?
I get what you're saying, but for me, it's a maybe leaning toward yes.
Okay, it's a valid answer. Answer.
It gives me an extra excuse to do it, but I think more than that, though, the reason I would still be as vicious even without an achievement is because the puzzles are ephemeral. Even if they're all templated a certain way and all of that, it's just different enough that it feels like a new puzzle.
Right.
And that connects to something else we had talked about before when you're like, pace yourself, otherwise you will go through the game. and now I have gone through the game multiple times.
Right.
The fact that I went back and did the same puzzles multiple times is why I say I would continue to do the dailies every day, because I want that dopamine hit.
Right. It's something I know. I don't anguish about it, but I know it's a thing we have to consider strongly in building games we do.
Yeah.
Achievements, points, dailies, stuff like that.
I keep feeling like I've seen someone try to do this and it didn't work right. I'm still of the mindset that there should be a service that isn't Steam, which is a whole platform, that offers achievements to independent game developers. All it is achievements as a service.
Oh, interesting.
You use our API, the leaderboards are hosted here. But if you want achievements in your game, we offer a service for that.
So it's funny you mentioned this.
Okay.
Because I just watched a video about this. Do you remember GameSpy?
As a name and brand, yes.
Okay. Originally, they were more of a review site, which is why most people know it. Eventually, they also did multiplayer as a service. You could drop in the components and do your multiplayer, both your leaderboards and the server mid negotiation thing into your game. And that's what they did. And to some level, achievements, although achievements didn't really exist before, they did very on small things.
Yeah.
But achievements as we know them didn't really exist until I think the Xbox.
Yeah. Or OG
was
Xbox.
What made it, because you could, that was really the first live service that you would see them. You could see other people's. Yes, I unlocked and cheat. I earned a trophy or thing within my game. I could take a screenshot of it, but not you saw other people's gamer score or individual badges. It was Xbox. But there was GameSpy did the multiplayer, and I just watched this really great video. I'll dig out and send you of the fall of GameSpy, and they just kind of all at once hey, we're ending our services as of this date, and just went dark, and everybody had to scramble to figure out how to do their own multiplayer servers, because they were just paying GameSpy money to do this and offloading, and they didn't have any infrastructure, and some studios had weaned themselves off of it and patched it out before. Some just, it's gone. And then some people reverse engineered it and brought up servers for games, and you can kind of play them online now. And some of them were hard coded DNS versus soft coded, so you could interject in but yeah, this sort of did exist. But yeah, it does make me wonder. Yeah, that would be an interesting idea for.
I'm not necessarily saying this as someone who I think currently owns the domain cheeve.io. I don't know if I do or not. I know I registered it once. I may have let it expire a couple of years ago because this idea's been floating around in my head. But as pretty much everyone that's here knows, I have a problem hoarding domain names. Really dumb ones, too.
Yes, he does.
Monkeyflingpoo.com. I don't even know why I registered. What inspired me to register monkeyflingpoo.com?
You know what you do? I'm not going to name your domain provider just for obvious reasons. But go to their site, find contact us or support email or something, and send them a suggestion hey, in the checkout screen, can I have a box to put a note on my domain, in my dashboard, why did I buy this? So in 3 in the morning when I have the idea and I bought the domain, I can leave myself a note. So a month later when I'm going to renew it, it's like, why? What is this? Cone Cat!
Hi, Madison.
Aww.
Madison Square Garden. Poor recovering baby. Come here. Come here, sweetie. I will love on you. This poor kitten. Yeah, I think I will do that. Above and beyond that, like, for some reason it never clicked in my head that I should make note of that in general, much less through the site, but through the site would be perfect because it happens when I'm checking out.
Go open a Google Doc or whatever, wherever you store your online documents. Call it domains.
Yeah.
And as you buy them, put a note and the date. They're like, I bought that, Dear Diary, on February 21st, I bought this. It's for this project later.
That is a very, very good
idea. And just
idea.
keep your own running log of them. Add a link to a repo or something.
I like that. I'm going to start. I did not intend to turn our podcast into a business meeting. I am going to start by documenting everything I do own and what it either is or was intended to be.
Okay. Also, don't worry about that, because if you've ever watched, you've probably never watched The Land Show because you're usually streaming music at the same time.
Yeah.
Half the time he ends up revealing like live business launches and stuff, and he'll yell at his employees for being in chat and not like off relaxing. He's like, no, we're here because you usually announce stuff here, and it's the quickest way to know before the Monday meeting that we're doing something.
Hey.
Realistically, I should have did the same thing with the technology in the house for years. Is go get a little tiny spiral notebook and kept a, furnace repair log, like new router installed this date. It is this model, new modem installed this date. It is this. Here is the name and the password for the router. Here's the name and the password for the what, and kept those in a notebook and just put them up in the rafter.
Yeah.
So when, 6 years later, when I don't live there and you go to check something, oh, what was that? It's like, oh, it's in the logbook.
But it probably would be a good idea. Would have been a good idea. Is going to have been a good idea.
Yes.
Present, future, pluperfect, whatever.
How's your Wi-Fi been, by the way?
Been good. Been working well. Haven't had
stable?
any substantive trouble with it.
Okay.
It's been holding up. You're not going to stab me. My poor little conehead is all points all the time. And he can't decide if he's mad at me and wants to attack
More
me.
than a week passes. Yeah.
Or sad and wants held. So it's like, hold me, but don't touch me, but hold me. He's trying to bite me. He's trying to bite me through the cone.
Scruff him.
I would, but my poor baby. Nope.
It's a mama cat thing. They just,
if
you don't gotta yank them. They just like, okay.
Just grab them by that little flap, and they're like, it's the off button.
Yeah. Oh, mine left.
Aww.
He gets up and goes.
Yeah. I feel it.
Oh no, he got up and left at 8 when his food dispensed.
Aha! He's on a schedule.
Yes,
Your
because
cat can regulate his behavior better than either.
I automated my cat because I would forget to I would forget to feed him consistently at the same time and stuff, and
Ineffable, I get it. I absolutely get it. Yes, hold me but don't touch me. There's my t-shirt slogan right there. Oh man.
There's a game premise. Hold me, but don't touch me. I don't know what the game would be, but that sounds like a good game idea.
A little to the left has all those cat interstitial levels. It's a
Yeah.
game about petting a cat without getting bitten and scratched. Which effectively makes it like a game of operation. You have to very delicately move to exactly the right position without touching the edges. Otherwise, the cat clamps shut on you like a bear trap, and you pull back the remaining, tattered remains of what used to be an arm, and you try again. You play as a very lonely cactus. I love it. I love it. Ship it. It's gold. Throw it in the repo. We'll make it happen.
Ship it. I barely know her.
Yeah. Well, we've been going for about 2.5, and after all this iced tea, it's about time for me to hit the gents anyway. This has been fun. We need to do this again. Wednesday nights seem to work well for me. I hope they work well for you, and I'm hoping they work well for the audience too. But I hope you guys have had a good time hanging out and just kind of shooting the breeze with us. Just in case you don't know us and you're new here, hi, I'm Jay. This is which way do I point? This is Fuzzy. Fuzzy's over here somewhere. There's a Fuzzy around here. I don't know.
It's a flex box. It slides. On my screen, you're above me.
This has been our Unnamed Talking Heads podcast, which I absolutely intend to bring back again.
Yeah, we'll spend some time making some overlays and stuff.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go throw my audience a jiggy. It is about that time and all of that. We should go say hi to him and wish Legend of Zelda a happy birthday. It is the 30th? 28th?
38th.
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 38 years of Legend
It doesn't
of Zelda.
seem like enough years considering our ages.
No kidding. I was just talking about how, embryonic me learned how to not share from that game at the start of this. Well, now it's been 38 years of waiting 2 hours for your turn. Anyway, cue the outro music. Da 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 da. Ba-da-da-da-da. That's the Tonight Show theme, right? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Johnny's theme or something. Thank you all for being here. We will catch you guys next time around. Go spread some love to Jiggy. Be safe, be well, everybody. See ya. All right, we should be over there.
Yep.
Sweet deal. Cool. Well, I'll jump off of here and message you because I got to go be good raider for a minute.
Okay.
Have fun. Thank you very much for this. It went really well.
Yeah, this seems to work surprisingly well.
I'm into it.